Right around when I was 18, I met a girl, and we fell in love. We ended up living together for a few years, and we got engaged. There were a lot of things in my life that changed. My drive changed. I got completely focused on money, completely focused on material items, drinking and partying. I worked at a rock radio station, making way more money than I should have for my age. And things got pretty ugly. It got to the point where I didn't care about our relationship anymore. One day I came home from work and she sat me down and told me things weren't working out. After 6 years of us being together, she packed up her stuff and left. That was a pretty tough day. I just remember getting so drunk that night. When I took a step back, I didn't know who I was. I woke up in the morning and felt really, really, really crappy. I felt like I had nothing left to live for at all. I went to my closet and I got out my handgun and I put in some hollow point bullets and I loaded it and I cocked it and I put it to my head and I prayed. I said to God, look, man, this is it. I can't do this anymore. I remember when I was little, the Bible said that, God won't give you anything you can't deal with or any challenge you can't handle. And I was pissed. I was angry that this was happening. I was angry that I had to go through it. And I didn't think that I was strong enough to do it. Somewhere in the middle of this angry, just bitter prayer, I fell asleep. When I woke up, I didn't feel the same pain that I felt before. I got a phone call a little bit later from a guy named Brian, is one of my best friends, and he knew I was having a rough time, and he said, hey bro, why don't you come to church with me tonight? So I get down there, I get down to Sandals at 6:45, and I'm standing out front, and he's nowhere to be found, and I gave him a call, and he was stuck in traffic. So I'm standing outside of this church that I've never been to before. I'm still kind of freaking out about this morning. I look around, there's probably 200 people standing out there, and I just picked some guy and went up to him, and I think I said, hey, do you come here often? And we started talking a little bit, and he asked me what was going on. I guess it was pretty obvious I was still upset. Told him about the gun, and told him about Jamie, and just told him about just everything. He kind of stopped me and asked if he could pray for me, and wow, that's kind of cool. I don't even know your name, but yeah, go for it, man. So he prayed for me, and when we were done, he asked me if I had accepted Jesus, if I had asked Christ into my life, asked if that was something I wanted to do, and I told him yeah. So he grabbed a couple other guys that were standing nearby, and we kind of got in a little circle, and he led me in a prayer asking God back into my life. It was pretty powerful. And we went in. We went into church, and church service was pretty awesome. The message was something that was right there for me. It seemed to hit home pretty good. And afterwards, this guy that prayed for me earlier came up to see how I was doing, and he introduced himself to me now, and it's Pastor TJ, the outreach pastor. Out of 200 people standing outside, how come it was him that I picked to go talk to? How come Brian was late? There's no way all that was a coincidence. There's no way I didn't pull the trigger that day. It was the craziest day of my life. Since that day, I mean, just going to 777 every week and having those guys pray for me and pray with me and help hold me accountable, and I didn't think anything could be as bad as that day that Jamie left. And I didn't think anything could be as good as this church and as this group.